before high school ended, I had already started enjoying myself. Um, Once the school holidays were called in final year high school, it was time when people get down to studying for the final exams. Um, but I was not no sucker for that at all. And on the day of the holidays where we finished school, I by the end of that day, all of my school books, my notes, everything were gone from my life. Destroyed, given away, gone. I was done. I had just done 6 years of high school. What the hell you want me to be cramming stuff for right now? You think I'm stupid? So I didn't. So I went and I partied. And that was a much better idea. And then I went and did my exams, and I did good too. Because I was relaxed and smooth. You got to be relaxed and smooth. You're going to be doing exams. You got to be. You can't be all tense and stressed out and goddamn how many things I put in my brain yesterday. Empty your brain is what you need to do before you do exams. Walk in with peace and calm. It's all going to come to you. It's all going to come to you. So then after the exams, I guess that's when kids decided to start having holidaying, celebrating. But I didn't. Well, I did. But I also signed up for a course. It was called a diploma in radio, print, TV, journalism, and film, or something like that. And it was a 3-month course over the summer. No, it was maybe 6 months even. Could be in 6 months, yeah. And it was held in the university just across the road from where I lived. And it was really good. And I learned lots about journalism. I got great experience. There was a TV show on here, famous, Where in the World it was called. Teresa Lowe, presenter. Famous. Everybody in the country watched this TV show on a Sunday night. And as a result of doing this course, I got to meet the producer of the show, and Bill Keating, and I got to go with him to the live broadcast of the show, sit with him in the vision mixing box, editing live television as it was going out. It was just fantastic experience. It was fantastic. I didn't get to touch anything. I just sat there and observed. Wow, yeah, that guy was good. So I did that, and I was very focused on that. I had to make a short little movie. They wanted you to do that, something, so I made a short little movie. I based it on an F. Scott Fitzgerald book called, it'll come to me now. I called my movie From Dusk Till Dawn. And the story was about two people didn't have to worry about money, who just partied to their own destruction. And yeah, that was good. I really, really wish I had a copy of that movie. That would be so fun. I do remember it was so fun making it. We just made it over one whole day, early morning until late night. Two people, guy and a girl, were the stars of the movie. And various people called in and out over that day. I had another girl. She was the production assistant. She was vital to it. She ended up working in something similar. And yeah, that was great fun, that movie. I knew a guy who he was also doing a course in media, and he also needed to produce a little movie. So he asked me, could he make a movie from what I had done? I said, sure. So I gave him the original tape. That's when my movie went missing, I guess you could say, probably. There was, of course, a short VHS edit done, but don't know where that went. So yeah, but yeah. The Beautiful and Damned, or The Beautiful and the Damned. That was the Scott Fitzgerald book that it's on. So then from there, once that was done, I went straight into university. I didn't really know why I was going to university. It seems to be the thing that you do. Certainly the thing that my parents wanted me to do. So I went to university. I took an arts degree, liberal arts. I studied Italian politics and history of art. I thought I would learn more. I was disappointed that I didn't learn much at all with the university experience. So from the beginning, I felt this is just not the place for me. And rollerblades had just, this would be in 1994, 1993. So yeah, rollerblades was taking off, and nobody here in Ireland used rollerblades, but I had a pair, and I thought, well, hey, universities, and this is what universities are all about. This is where people do these kind of things. So I would go to university on my rollerblades, and everybody would laugh at me, and they would go, what the hell is this idiot doing in these stupid things on his feet? Yes. So I dropped out of university. It was just the total wrong vibe and direction of everything that did not fit all into my life. And also in the first month of university, I had the opportunity to attend a global telecommunications conference being hosted here in Dublin. All of the big cable networks of the time were here involved in this. They were talking big levels, high level stuff. And it was all terribly boring about cable and more cable and fiber and satellite. And they were discussing the future and what they thought was going to be of the future. Then one lady stood up to make a presentation, and this changed my life. I don't recall her name. I wish I did. She stood up on stage and she took a device from her pocket and she held it up. And if you look at it today, you would say it's a smartphone. And yes, it was a smartphone indeed. It was the first smartphone. This was created by the two guys who would go on to work on. One went to Android, the other guy went to Apple. This was their little prototype version, which they went on to refine both of those segments and create both of those segments. And wow, she showed us she could use the internet on this thing, she could use photos on this thing, she could do everything with this thing. This is a time when everybody was using a Nokia 3310, and that was as good as technology got. And so when she had finished her presentation, I watched her, and eventually whenever she did leave the room, I followed her and I left after her, and I approached her in the corridor and I said, hello, excuse me, that was an amazing presentation. I was only wondering, do you mind, would I be able to touch the device? I said, oh, hi, thank you. Oh no, it's far too fragile. I can't let you touch it. It could fall apart. I was like, okay, thank you. And that was it. And off she went. Nice, happy little meeting. So yeah, this was what derailed all of the previous ideas and notions about where I should take my life. It was not down the well-trodden path of universities. This was not for me at all. No way, no sir. So from there, I quit university after doing 1 year, and I signed up to a course which taught about programming and networking technologies. After the fact, I saw that it was pretty much a sales pitch for certain technologies. And at the end of that year, it was 1 year course. At the end of that year, I made a presentation, as you do in these things, don't you? You've got to make a presentation or whatever at the end of these things, yeah. And I made a presentation on internet, and nobody else's presentations, nobody cared about. Everybody was super interested to hear what I was saying about internet, because we didn't touch it in a year. on a networking course. Internet, what's that? Nobody heard of it. But I'd been using it. I was writing HTML by this stage. So I did that, and I left that, and then I went looking, and the only place that was offering internet in Ireland was one company, one ISP. Maybe there was another, but it was kind of, there was one. Others would follow, of course. But, so I went banging on the door, figuratively speaking. I sent emails asking for a job to the boss of the ISP. And I would be online all day. I was online all day. This is dial-up days. You know, you're paying for your phone line and everything. And